Oh, shoot. This phone call is, of course, coming through right now that I needed to take. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is the life. Um, I apologize for missing our call last week, our team call last week. The kids were really sick and there was no way I was going to be able to pull it off, which I know that all of you understand. And Logan, actually, it's the first time he's missed a full week of school because his respiratory and his fever was just not going away. So we had a very full week this last week, but I'm really, I'm excited for moving into May. I don't know about you guys. Krista, I know Krista, you and I have talked about this, and I loved all your Marco Polos clearly articulating like how this year has felt. This first quarter has just felt like, I loved your analogy of running around the bases. Like January was running first base and then second base and third base, like running back home in April. And it just feels like it's just everything is a lot right now. So it's going very fast paced. So I still love this topic that we're focusing on this month. I apologize. I wish I could have given more this month on this topic, but I will say that for myself, I've definitely gotten clarity on the systems that I need to set up for myself for Beachbody. And since starting our real estate business and since my husband, doing what he's doing in his business, I will say it as a new level of appreciation for how easy it is to have a Beachbody business. And excuse me. Excuse me. I think that because it is so cheap and so easy to have this business is why we make it complicated because nothing should be that easy. And so it's very easy to get in our heads about it, right? And to overthink things and to make it more complicated than it needs to be. So today we're focusing on talking through basically enrolling more coaches. We all know, especially if you went through the New Coach University, that the key to this business being successful and you working less and making more income and having an impact and really maximizing your reach and the amount of people that your team can empower and help comes down to you finding other coaches. It is, yes, in alignment with our compensation plan, but it also is in alignment with what our mission is, which is to empower people to build sustainable businesses and empower as many other, moms and parents as we can to live a healthy, fulfilling life so that they can raise up another generation that's learning these tools and concepts of how to prioritize their health and not just zone out on Netflix every day eating Doritos, right? Because we know that in our culture of America, that's what is popular and common. And we're so busy and we're so stressed out that it's just easier to turn a blind eye and numb out and not think about what are we really instilling into our kids, these future generations. And that's for me personally, like that's a huge part of, oh my gosh, as much as they drive me crazy, these children, that's a huge part of my mission in this business is let's link arms with as many mama bears as we can and help them feel alive and healthy. And let's teach them how to teach their young women how to have positive body image and learn their value in the Lord and what they're created to be, and teach, I don't need to preach to you guys because I know that, we're doing this together, but it really does come down to coaches. Coaches are the ones that are going to invest in other people. Your customers aren't necessarily going to invest in other people. It's going to be other coaches who have that same heart and same mission as we do. So we are going to do this both for productivity, and it's way more fun, and for my voice. We're going to kind of do this round robin style or just like open it up, and I'm going to take you through some questions and some points. The mission of this call is for you to leave feeling empowered and confident of how to enroll more coaches in your team. And again, this isn't just about you making more money. Yes, that is absolutely a side effect of it. Just like with Beachbody programs, weight loss is a side effect of you getting to the foundation and doing it well. Income, making more money, is a side effect of us building this business right. The two are parallel. Excuse me. Okay, so first and foremost, the most important piece to enrolling, finding other working coaches, enrolling them, is your understanding of what a Beachbody business looks like, what it is, what a coach is, and your belief that it has the ability to change people's lives. If you don't know what a coach is, or you don't understand the basics of what is a Beachbody business, and you don't believe that it has the impact to really make someone's life better, then it doesn't matter what else you know. It doesn't matter if you know how to send a share cart or enroll a coach or get them started right. Because if your belief is there, excuse me, if your belief is not there, you're never going to push past the fear of inviting someone to coaching, because you don't really believe it. At the end of the day, you're going to believe your fear more than how much it can impact someone else. Agreed? So let's feel free to use the chat or unmute yourself in your own words, just whatever comes to mind. What do you feel, or what do you say is what is a coach? Like, what is the business of being a Beachbody coach? It's not a trick question. This could be any variety of answers. Feel free to just unmute yourself.
I love, Jess, when you use the word accountability mentor, and just encourager, I think is huge. It takes a big, pressure off of the word coach. But yeah, accountability mentor along with encourager.
Sorry, I'm muted. This is Jamie, but I'm muted, or I don't have my picture because I'm making bracelets while I'm listening. But when I think of the word coach, so I actually coach girls soccer. And so I basically am lifting young women up and teaching them how to get to where they want to be, which is the best soccer team out on the field. And so if I relate the word coach to Beachbody, I am sharing what my knowledge, but also sharing the journey that I'm on with other people, and I'm holding their hand and walking beside them, behind them, and in front of them as they reach their own personal wellness goals. So it's similar to coaching a soccer team in reference to, I don't have to have all the answers, because definitely as a soccer coach, I don't have all the answers. I wasn't some great soccer player. I just know that I am there to support the person or the people or the group of people. And I feel like that's as wellness coaches, that's what we are there to do as well, is just give support and kind of facilitate what Beachbody already has put in place for us.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Again, there's no wrong answer, but I do think it's important for us to, I would love for everyone to answer this question and say something along of like anything about what is being a coach, or what is alluring about the business of like the Beachbody business platform. Because if we can't answer this question, then it will always be a struggle. And this is not judgmental towards anyone. It just is a fact that I want to help us all grow through.
I think servant too. Oh, sorry, Johnny. I just thought of that. Servant, like waking up saying, who can I serve today? Keeps it in a giving mode versus us needing to have more skills to go forward.
Can I go?
I'll go.
Joni, go ahead and go, and then Joni, and then Amy after Joni.
Yes. Okay, I feel, when I hear the word coach, I feel like it is to be someone's support and to educate them and just to be there for them and help them along the way. I mean, not try and push anything on them, but to let them know that you are there for them and that there is a community that they could join. I feel the most important, I think, for me is mentally to be there for them. People that are struggling with depression, anxiety, that means a lot to me, to help them change their life. People struggling with addictions. And it just has the potential. When I say educating, I mean educating them not only about the workouts, but just how much their life could change by the simple things that they do. And that's it.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
There's a lot of road noise. I would just say, you know, what everybody else says is true. But I like to tell people, when I talk to people or they ask like what I do, I'm like, well, I'm kind of like your cheerleader. You know, I'm just helping guide you and support you and cheer you on. And that's really all I'm here for. And I always tell people I'm not an expert. I do not have any certifications in any of this stuff. I just have learned along the way, and I just like to share what I've learned with everybody else. So, you know, just being supportive and inspiring them, and just motivating them if I can. But that's pretty much what everybody else said already. But that's what I like to say that it is I do.
I love that. Sarah, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her? Can you guys hear Sarah? No, I can't hear you. Oh no, I see you're unmuted. Shoot dang. Unmute. Okay, I'm sorry. No. I can read your lips.
Is it like connect with computer audio or?
Oh yeah. Did it ask you when you joined if you wanted to connect with computer audio or like give you any audio options? There's nothing on my end for settings. Okay. If you want to type it, that'd be awesome, Sarah. Also, Sarah, I'm so happy that you're here. Sarah is here in Idaho as well, in a different part, just south of me. Oh my goodness. And Brooke is Sarah's coach. Sarah Stoy is amazing. She's lost 25 pounds now, I think. Is that right? Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Just doing really incredible things. So I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, so here's just to kind of recap a couple of things that we have talked about is so we're talking about what is a coach, understanding like what is, and when you guys think about this on your own, I want you to specifically think about the business side too, because everything that we listed is absolutely true. It's the foundation, but it is also a business if we want it to be. And so what is the business of being a coach? What is that? Like, what does that mean? If you say, I say I'm starting a business in real estate, I have to be able to identify what that means, why I'm doing it. Yes. And we kind of, what we focused on was more of the, like, why we're doing it, the heartstrings, the foundation of our drive to do this. And then there's also the logistical side of what is the business of being a coach. So all these are so important. We have to lead with this, but also make sure that you do understand a little bit about the business side of it. Same with my husband and concrete. Like, what does a concrete business look like? he needs to be able to identify as a business owner what those are. So I was taking notes as you guys were talking. You guys had listed what is a coach? An accountability mentor, encourager, lifting young women up and helping them be their best. Having a servant's heart of asking yourself every day, who can I serve? We support, educate, and help them along the way. Help them in their mental health, support them in their mental health. We help people with addictions, opening their eyes to how much their life could change. I love that, Joni, when you shared that. I totally agree with that. Really opening their eyes that it doesn't have to be this way. So many people are struggling. Part of our job is to show them it doesn't have to be that way. There is another way. There are different tools out there, and they're cheerleader. How cool is that? That's our job description, and we have the opportunity to get paid for that when we build the business side of it, and we actually put ourselves out there, and we learn marketing and we learn how to link arms with more people so that they can take this description and do it in their own circle. Because I don't know about you guys, but I cannot help all the people. I mean, you may be able to, but I cannot help all the people, especially the amount of people that I want to be able to help. All of you on here have a huge heart. I'm guessing that all of you want to make a really big impact in your world. We only get one life. We only have one shot at it. We all have unique stories and gifts and opportunities and circles of influence that we've been given, but we can't help everyone on our own. So how do we create a ripple effect? We have to find more people to help more people, to help more people, to help more people. That is the business model of Beachbody. Take this out of it, which we never would, right? But what I mean is, if you were to take this that we just talked about out of it and just look at the compensation plan of Beachbody is set up to help more people, help more people, help more people, help more people. If you do that successfully, you will be you're financially as a business level, like when you're looking at as a business successful, you will be very successful. The two go hand in hand, because if you're not growing your business, you're not helping more people, help more people, help more people. Does that make sense? How I learned that one day, that if I'm making $0, it means I'm not actually doing the things that I want to do, because every time I help somebody with the tools that have changed my life, I will earn income from that. And for some reason, the waters have gotten muddy of us feeling guilty or feeling weird about that. I know there's a lot of MLM misconceptions out there, but like as a nurse, Joni, when you go to work, no one looks down upon you for helping people and getting paid a good hourly wage for that. Like that would be ridiculous. We're doing is a similar concept. So I wanted to talk about this part first, the belief and the understanding of what it means to, even if you took the word coach out of it, what it means to have a business with Beachbody. Make sure you have clarity on what that is first. And do you believe that it has the potential to positively impact and shift somebody's life? Pretty much everybody in here I know has had a positive, like it's shifted our lives in a positive direction, whether it's a little bit or a whole lot. It's shifted the trajectory of my kids' future. My kids' life will never be the same because of me being a Beachbody coach. That's crazy. Like, that's amazing. How selfish would I be to keep that from people, you know? So that is number one. Once you have that belief and understanding, the rest should naturally flow. Here is a sub point to what we just talked about on the logistical part. I think it's important for everyone to understand too, that the business side could be anything from having a referral code, like so many other companies do. Like, how many of you have been approached by an Instagram, somebody on Instagram and said, hey, we have the skincare line. We'd love for you to try it out. I'll send you free products, or I'll give you a referral code, or this clothing line like this one. A company reached out to me, and they are aligned with my mission, with my like branding and help being like a patriotic company. And it's rise and shine. And anyways, they reached out to me, they sent me product and they said, we have a referral code if you promote our products. Beachbody could be the same thing. If you're consuming them daily anyways, and you're feeling a positive shift, anyone could have a business where you're just sending referral codes and you're just talking to people and saying, this is really, I just lost 25 pounds. Oh my gosh, I feel better than I have in decades or since I've had kids. Wow. The community, the accountability. I know that other people are waking up at this time in the morning and we're working out together. We have like whatever it is that resonates with you, you could just send out referral codes. Hey, if you want to try this too, if you want to do this too, just like I would with apparel, just like we would with skincare, that's really good, just like we would with wine or whatever. But that belief has to come first. Then you can enter into the multiple levels of what you could build this into, from a referral link to building an empire, like a legitimate empire. It could be anywhere in between. That confuses a lot of people because you can't always duplicate someone else because it's what you want to be, but it's also very I'm not thinking of the word that I'm trying to use right now, but it's nice. There's no pressure, put it that way. This could be whatever you want it to be, however much you want to work, however serious you want to grow it. And there's no shame in being it and growing it small. And there's no hindrance keeping you from breaking the records of what's ever been done in a company. And that's a beautiful thing as part of our compensation plan. So I wanted you to understand that so that when you're talking to people about coaching, that you know to say those things as well. Because most people are intimidated and don't want to start coaching because of, what are the top things that you hear or why you did? You could put it in the chat or unmute yourself of why people don't want to coach.
Time commitment.
For sure.
I'd say the two is they're not a salesperson and they don't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't feel like they know the first thing about being a coach.
Yes, so common, huh? What?
I'm not outgoing enough.
They feel they have to be the proof of the product first, meaning that they have to be in have a certain image before they.
And they're not to have a business,
Sorry, say that one more time, Joni.
that they're not organized enough to have a business.
I could prove them wrong. Holy moly. We're so organization. But you're right. Absolutely. Amy, were you trying to say something?
Yesterday I had someone say that they were afraid their feelings hurt by their friends and family, or that they had tried it before, but they didn't want to try it again because they got their feelings hurt by people switching to someone or not signing up with them and just wanting to get their feelings hurt. That was
Interesting. Okay. So that fear of rejection, what are other people's opinion?
They've done network marketing before and it was awful.
Yes. So I love all these so much. And my best advice to those of you who really do want to grow your business is to take this list and teach about it. Take this list and understand why this is different and do a video about it or do a post about it or write something about it, because everyone is having these. We just went through what a coach is and how amazing it is, what the work that we're doing and how powerful it is and the potential of it. And we started there intentionally. And now we're looking at the reasons why people don't do it. And we know that pretty much I know pretty much all of you have had these, and it's why you didn't. for the longest time, or it's why you didn't in the beginning, or it's why you struggled, or it's why you doubted yourself. It's why you pulled back because of one of these. I had many of these as well. But that, what does that tell us is that these are misconceptions and they don't have to be our truth, right? A lack of social media. I know for sure that both Jamie and Amy didn't have social media at the beginning. And look at them now, right? And they're incredibly consistent and so inspiring and have impacted hundreds of people because of their social media accounts. Having no experience, how many of you could resonate with that? Not having any background in it, and right, like, and not having any, no business experience at all, not to mention health experience, not being outgoing or being shy. I have always attracted more introvert people for the majority, not everybody, but like the majority has been shy, like very private type of people. These will only be people's truths if that's what they choose for it to be their truth, but it doesn't have to be, because we know this business can be for anyone who wants to be the first group of things that we talked about: the encourager, the empowerer, the educator, the one that for a living you're choosing to show people that their life doesn't have to be the way that it is. If they're miserable and they're stuck and they're depressed and they're in a dark place, they do not have to feel isolated. We have community. Whatever it is they're struggling with, for the most part, we do have a solution to help meet them, to empower them to live their best life. That is our job. That is amazing. That's at the foundation of what we do. So, excuse me, when we're thinking about who can this business bless, I want to know from you guys. So it's kind of a combined. Actually, let me ask you this question first. Throw out, what are some of the benefits of being a coach that you've experienced?
Accountability. Like, it's held me accountable for my own wellness journey.
100%, Jamie. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I would have quit. No joke. Like, life got hard. Seasons were hard. Like, I would have thrown in the towel if I didn't have other women that were actually encouraging me. I think that's what's missed, and I don't probably talk about it, which I should, but like, it's encouraging to me to keep going. Like, when I see Joni showing up, I'm like, oh, look, I can't like not show up. Like,
Yeah.
Joni's out there like doing her thing, or, it's very encouraging. Like Brooke, like most inspiring human.
Oh yeah, agreed. It's like, if I know that Brooke's going to be up in the morning and Joni's going to be there, I've got to get my butt out of bed, no matter how tired I am. Even though this last week I've totally been MIA. This Monday morning, I 100% agree with you, Jamie. And that's a type of wealth that I think we miss a lot in talking to people, that so many people are desperate for, having that. It is, again, I don't know what other word to use, but that wealth of wellness and accountability, and not pressure, but like, so we want to support you. I love it. Okay, what other? Sorry.
I think also, that you find your tribe, you find a positive place in this world, especially right now. I was talking to somebody about that. It's the one place where you can go and that they have your back, no matter what part of life, not just your fitness journey, but if you're going through something, you can say it out loud and not be judged, but just be accepted.
Absolutely. What are some other benefits of being a coach? What about the part where you can like make money?
I was just going to say that. Even if it's to get your supplements, because you cannot live without Shakeology, like you are getting your supplements covered, that is a huge benefit. But all the way from that to quitting your full-time job and working from home.
Right.
So
the fact that it's even a possibility that it's a potential, that if you wanted to, you could. There's so many, like most jobs, I'm just gonna use nursing because it's the only one that I know. You don't have a lot of opportunity to have, I mean, there's some jobs that are very flexible, but you go to work and you work your, your 312s, or I worked 8-hour shifts, and there's not a lot of opportunity. You could maybe promote to a supervisor, or maybe be a charge nurse, or if you really shoot for the fences and kiss enough butt, then you could maybe be like a nurse executive one day. But the opportunity to earn an income doing something really fulfilling that allows for flexibility to where you're also not missing soccer games is very unique. And I think we don't as a team talk about that part as much. You could be brand new and never made $1 and talk about that because it's potential. You're not talking about what you're doing right now. You're talking about the potential of what it could be, and why that is motivating and inspiring you to share this gift with other people. Because how many of you know moms that have Googled work from home jobs because they didn't want to miss out on their kid's life anymore? And they're willing to go back to school, or they're willing to pay a lot for a certification, or they're willing to do hard things or work night shift or do things that they don't really want to do because they want to be able to be home and have more schedule flexibility. There's a lot of people out there who don't know that this really exists. It's our responsibility to communicate that and just present the gift that it is. And not everybody's going to want it, and that's okay. But I will encourage you to spend some time thinking about this. And I'm going to type out these notes and send them to you guys too. But think about, like, what are really the benefits of being a coach with Beachbody? Specifically that, because I've been a health coach apart from Beachbody, and it is very different. And it is a lot of freaking work. And you're kind of on your own for a lot of things. So from the community to, I know a lot of you haven't experienced the free trips, but my husband and I have earned 6 free luxury vacations that I never would have earned from any other job because of Beachbody. That's a huge plus for me, and the income and the community. We have friends moving up here who we met on a Beachbody Success Club trip 4 years ago, and they're now some of our closest friends. My coach, Liz Hartke, is one of my closest growth friends now, and she came from Beachbody. I met so many other, and obviously all of you. I probably wouldn't be friends with most of you if it wasn't for Beachbody. That has changed my life. So what is it that has changed your life, or that you're excited about? That's what you talk about in your marketing to attract people who want that similar thing. So now that we've gone through a little bit about understanding, okay, this is what a coach is, or this is what the business is, you can scale it as little or as big as you want. Here are some of the benefits. Here are some of the objections of why people don't do it. Knowing that, who do you think would be what kind of person could be a prime candidate for being a successful, active coach? What are their life circumstances? Who would be looking for something like this?
Jenna Lynn.
What'd you say? Jenna?
Oh, was I not muted? I was talking about
I thought,
that almost has her, well, she has her group fitness training certificate, and she almost has an ASM certificate.
oh,
But she'd
yes.
be-
Awesome. So people like moms who are at home, is that part of your, I will say this from my own experience, and only because I want it to be helpful. Not all stay-at-home moms will be a good fit for, and I'm sure you guys know this, will be a good fit for coaching, because we know that it is really hard in the beginning, that it takes time. It can take time away from your kids. in allowing for more time, and again, it just depends on the person. I will say that specifically in my experience, moms who are working, who are trying to get home, it's a great fit for them, even though they may have more going on the calendar because they're working another job. Their reason to do it usually is to become, what's the matter? Groceries are on their way. High five. They're trying to get home. This is not accurate for everybody in both fields, but I have found that moms who are staying at home, I don't like even making that generalization. Some moms who are staying at home and financially are totally fine, like things are good. There's really not much of a reason to really work. I'm probably going to sound awful in how I'm wording this, but there's not more of a reason to work because things are really good at home. And like for me, I know I needed Beachbody to help me get out of prison so I could be home. And then I knew that was going to allow me, and now it always sounds weird to say out loud, it was going to allow me to be home. There's other stay-at-home moms who financially, they're like, I need this for my family. I need to help put groceries on the table or fill the gas tank, or I need this for my mental health. Like all I am right now is, you guys will understand, I know, because it sounds horrible coming out of my mouth, but all I am right now is a mom. That's amazing. Our calling is so important as mothers, but we also have to honor our mental health needs to have other women to support us and lift us up and carry us. So I agree with you. For sure, moms, stay-at-home moms, working moms, women who have a background in nutrition or fitness can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes they get it and they're like, this is amazing. Like, I need this in my life. And other times, like myself, we have an ego about it. And it's like, really, like, why would I join this network marketing company when I have certifications and I paid this amount of money for what I know and blah, blah, blah. So I say that to everybody because I don't ever want you to get discouraged, because you're going to have people on both sides who see the incredible potential, and then you're going to have people who make fun of it. And I don't ever want you to get disillusioned by that.
Yeah, my answer was gonna be a little different. I feel like for me now, especially going back to work during COVID, doing this full time, I love my job and what I do. A lot of things about it. I don't necessarily know that I'm even striving to get to be back to home full time, but I do want to be, I don't know, how do you put this? A full-time coach though too. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, I want all of the benefits of being you, with not necessarily knowing that I'm walking away from my job or not. That's not really for me. I want to find people who, their primary reason for doing it, like Jamie said, first of all, is your own accountability. Who's like, okay, you know what? You're saying that I'll have other people depending upon me, people who like to help others, who that's their drive. Like for me, it's going to be more looking for those people who like, okay, yeah, I have a full-time job, but that would be so cool to be able to help a few people along the way do the same thing that I want to do. Because that's what pushes me, is really knowing that I have people that are sitting there depending upon me to show up.
Lisa, I 100% agree with that. That is like, I don't ever have a goal of like not working. I mean, in some capacity outside of this business, I would just like that freedom of almost like not having to rely on the outside.
Right.
That's what I want. Like, I want this to support me and the outside to be like my choice.
I love that. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because you'll find that several really successful Beachbody coaches. So let's look at Liz, for example. That was the vessel. Beachbody coaching and the financial income that it provided and the freedom of time it provided was the vessel for her to go into what she was really born to do, which is Luminary Leadership Company. And she is empowering millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs how to be fully present in business and fully present at home and raise their kids intentionally. And that is her bread and butter. But she will be the first to tell you that she could have never done that if it wasn't for what Beachbody provided her financially and for the time freedom to be able to pour into and invest in growing another business. And you'll see that across the board when you follow some of the top coaches and successful coaches. Is this was the vessel to do other things, to do more. Like for us, this was the vessel to get us moved here, and for my husband to get out of law enforcement and do, have another business. And, there's just so many different freedoms that kind of split off, where you get the opportunity to think to yourself, like you were saying, Jamie, what do I really want to do if time, money wasn't an object? And then you start to dream a little bit, and then it starts to get scary, but you're like, wow, this could provide for whatever it is, traveling the world for a year with my kids because I could work from anywhere or whatever, we're all different in that aspect. So, okay. Okay. So on the last 10 minutes or so of our call, we've gone through some of like prime candidates, and this might be different for each of us. Each of us have a little bit of a different story. We are not a cookie cutter team. Nobody is. Nobody's story is the same. So you might attract different people than I do because of your experiences. And please lean into that. Do not try to copy who another coach is trying to attract because they're doing a good job. You have to be clear on who you are and the kind of people you resonate with, because it's going to be way easier and a better fit that way. So now that we've gone through kind of all of that, we're going to end with how to invite them to coaching and how to onboard them or help them be successful. How many people are most inhibited to invite to coaching because of these two things? You don't know how to invite them and you don't know how to help them be successful. Is that what inhibits anybody in here? Or is everybody like rock stars? No.
That inhibits myself.
Okay. I'm like, if you guys know how to do that, then I don't want to waste your time. I have found in a personal one-on-one conversations, this is how my daughter sleeps. Yeah. That these two are usually why people don't invite to coaching, because they don't know what to say. They don't know who to invite, and they're afraid that people are going to think that they're just trying to sell them something, or because we've all been scammed or mass messaged. And then if they do get a coach started, they don't know how to help them be successful. So here's how my brain works. And it's not how everyone's brain in Beachbody works, but with the clarity we've just gotten on this call, how do I invite and who am I going to send an invite to coaching? Well, I'm going to go back to that list of who would be a prime candidate, whose life could be blessed from this? Who do I see potential in? I'm going to make a list of attributes of successful coaches: hardworking, teachable, good team player. We have these things in common. And then I'm going to go, there's two pools of people to pull from. Number one, and what you're probably going to get the most success from, are your current clients, your current customers, your current discount coaches, your current preferred customers who've experienced Beachbody and love it. So for Sarah, it was like a natural progression because she's had an amazing experience and is getting amazing results. And it becomes one of those things of, well, I'm sharing it anyways. People are asking about it anyways. So I might as well learn more about the coaching side of things. And to me, that is the most successful progression, because we started this call with the belief of that this will impact someone's life, and you have it because you've experienced it and you know it. You don't need to learn it. Whereas if someone comes in and says, I want to be a coach, I want to learn about the business and I want to help people, but they've never experienced it for themselves, if you think about it, they have to learn what's different about Beachbody. They don't know it because of experience. And so you can see that there is a big difference there, and they're most likely not going to be a successful coach until they have that experience, which might be anywhere from 1 to 6 months down the road. Now, this isn't for everybody, because when I started, I didn't have the experience. I was just excited about Liz's experience. And I sent her before and after pictures to everybody. So again, this is not like across the board for everybody. I'm just saying in general, in my experience, people are better coaches when they have, I'm using the word experience so many times, but when they have a personal experience with what we're doing. So first, who to invite and how to invite, I would start with your customers. Anyone who's ever been a customer of yours before, I would reach out to them. I would use it as a reason to follow up and check in and ask how they're doing. And you're gonna have you're gonna have three options. Either they're not gonna respond to you, is one option. Don't be offended by that. People have a lot going on other than Beachbody. Number two is they're gonna respond to you and they're gonna tell you, I'm doing amazing. I've lost 10 pounds. I love how I feel in Shakeology. The muscle margarita has been a game changer for me for early morning workouts, whatever. And you're gonna say, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you're doing this. Look, let's talk. Do you have time to jump on the phone, or can I send you some information about switching over to a coach account? Because with your experience, why not have some referral links where you can send, information to your friends about Shakeology that you've been talking to? Or have you ever thought about the coaching side? Something simple. Have you ever thought about the coaching side? And just start a conversation. With your clarity you received on this call, you could have any conversation about coaching. Like, what are the benefits? What do you do as a coach? And then ask what's holding you back. And they're going to tell you some of the things that we listed out. And then you could talk through that. Obviously, I'm here if you ever have any questions or need help through that. But that's where I would start, is with your current customers. Number three of the option that they're going to tell you is, I'm doing awful. I fell off the wagon. I have 7 bags of Shakeology in my pantry. I have not ever logged into Beachbody on Demand. I don't have the accountability. What? It's almost here. I just got a text message. Okay. Don't answer the door when they ring it. We did Instacart. So for those people, you say, no problem. Are you still wanting to have that transformation that you told me about? And they're going to say yes. You're going to say, what's holding you back? Most likely they're going to say, I'm struggling with accountability, or I'm struggling with discipline, or whatever. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. It might sound a little bit weird, but have you ever thought about coaching? Because what was the number one thing that we talked about that's a benefit of being a coach? Accountability.
Accountability.
Yes, accountability. There really is something different when you become a coach and you have that account type, and you realize, and you announce, and you tell anyone. It could be like just your coach knows that you have a coach account, and you say, okay, now I want you to be the coach of yourself first. I want you to coach yourself as you would coach somebody else, and let's see what happens in the next 30 days. And while you're doing that, if anyone asks you what you're doing, or you feel better, you have referral links that you could send them and pay for your supplements. So it could be as simple as that. And you can stay in that place of inviting a coaching just from your customer pool. Because if you're marketing right, you should be getting new customers every month. And then it should be just a cycle and a process of getting new customers, inviting them to coach a month or so, like 30 to 60 days later, getting new customers, inviting them to coaching, right? It could be a very simple cycle. The other pool of people is going to be the women it could be men, obviously, but the people that are looking to have community, who have full-time jobs, or looking for accountability, or they're looking for side income financially. They're Googling work from home jobs. How are you attracting them? What are you sending them resource wise? And what are you saying on your marketing in order for them to ask you questions about coaching and the business? Now that approach is what intimidates most people, because most people are not confident in the business side of things. And you can stay there, or you can learn and you can start teaching about it. And then that confidence will come, but only after you take that action. How to invite those people to coaching, that pool of prospects, it's going to be through webinars. It's going to be through you making videos, informational videos, and sending them to them, seeing potential in people and saying, kind of like what you were saying, Joni, when you thought you were muted, like, oh, this person would be an amazing coach. Like, I know that she would love it. It would benefit her life. She has the background. She's has kids at home. I know she would love the flexibility. Then it would be you sending her a message and saying, hey, I just got off this call, learning more about the business model that I currently have. And I think that you would be really good at this, because with working from home with your kids, with your passion for fitness, would you be up to like a 3-way call, or would you be open to learning hearing a little bit more about what it means to have this tool in your tool belt as a coach with this company? And then they'll either say yes, or they'll ignore you, or they'll say no. You didn't die, and we just move on, right? It's so easy to get in our heads of like, but what if they hate me forever for telling them they're amazing? But that's not going to happen. Any questions about inviting to coaching? It is like a crash course.
Have you guys ever had somebody who wants to do the programs or wants to like, do the things, but doesn't even want to join or jump in because they don't want to be pressured, because all they hear is they'll push you to be a coach. They'll push you to be a coach. And I know there's some teams and people that are, but I thought that was really interesting this week that came up, was like, I really want to, but they really don't want that pressure to be a coach. I'm like, I'm just me, just talk to me, but that was a different one I came across.
So they won't even be a customer because they're afraid of the pressure to be a coach.
There's a hesitation, a resistance, because, people will tell them, oh, all they'll do is tell you, whatever, and push you to be a coach.
Has she had that experience in the past, or people are just telling her that's what it's going to be like?
telling
Okay.
them.
I would honestly just be very honest and say, I know that some people can be like that, but that's not how I am.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty
I would
much, I kind of like,
yeah. And then you can tell her, like, why don't you try it for 30 days? There's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you
Yeah.
hate it, then you get a full refund. But let me prove to you, like, that's not how I am. That's not how our team is.
Yeah.
Obviously, the option's there, but it's not for everybody. So it may not be for you. And
Mhm.
we have plenty of people who are just customers on our team, and we love them the same.
that's good too. I think when we tell people like it's not for everybody, it might not be for you, all of a sudden they're kind of like, well, I don't want to miss out if it is.
Yes. Liam, do not open the door. I actually really love the approach of inviting to coaching and requiring an interview and requiring an application because, buddy, in just a second, I have 4 minutes. Okay. So 4 minutes. When you do that, exactly what you just said, there's like FOMO. There's all of a sudden it goes from, because how many people in network marketing portray themselves as being desperate and so hungry to like get you. But if you say like, I pour my heart into the people I work with. So if you do want to learn more about this business, I would love to share it with you. I'd love to mentor you for free. I'd love to work with you, but I need to know where you're at. Fill out this application, and then we can schedule an interview to make sure we're a good fit for each other. That approach is very different than anybody can do it, because really not everybody can do it. And not everybody really wants to.
I'm kind of like that with customers right now too, to be honest. Like, I think that's part of the benefit of working full time, because I don't feel like I have that my entire monetary, my financial situation depends on coaching. I'm a little tough love with people lately. Like I have a person who says she's signing up. I've sent a share cart, and oh, don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. And I'm like, I won't give up on you. But at the same time, you have 4 people who are getting ready. I have a group of 5 that's getting ready to start the 4-week up protocol as of today, prep week. So if you're in, you're in. If you're not, see you maybe on the next round, like, and not in a mean way, or, I'm like, yeah, I love you. I won't give up on you, but we're starting without you, if you don't sign up. So.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Okay, so going from there to how do you help them be successful? kind of what Felisa, what you're just talking about, I think expectations are very important because you do not want to pull or drag people. That's not what we're doing. And I think telling them that from the beginning is very important, and tell them like you have so much potential and this business model allows you to dream as big as you want, to work as hard as much or as little as you want. I'm here to help be a resource for you, but make sure you set people up with resources. This is add them to our Health Patriot business collaboration page and welcome them. If you missed it, we stopped that for a little bit, and we're going to have people go through the New Coach University first. And some things in this business are very much trial and error. And I realized I didn't like that. I want them to be welcome from the beginning. So if you have a new coach, add them to our business Facebook page and welcome them. And then the New Coach University. No one should ever feel lack of ability or nervous to help help their coaches be successful, or let that be a hindrance to them inviting to coaching, because we have a team, New Coach University, that we worked really hard to put together. Sarah's doing amazing. Sarah, everyone's loving seeing your posts in our page. And the way that we've structured it now, if you didn't know, is that it's a self-paced training. So we're not doing classes or groups anymore. It's just self-paced. So they can start whenever they want. We recommend going through it within a 2-week time frame if possible. They have however much time that they want, but as we know, life gets busy. And so if you take 2 months to go through 10 days worth of content, you're probably going to forget some things. Your excitement, motivation is going to probably wear off. But the accountability piece in there is to post it in our team page, as you guys have seen Sarah's awesome post in there. So you don't have to know exactly how to grow this business. We have created a New Coach University for everybody to use, and Beachbody alone has amazing trainings in our coach office. So don't let that hinder you. That would literally be the 2 things. If you could show them, welcome them to our team page, show them New Coach University. The vision part's really important. As their coach, I do recommend having a call or something with them where what do you want from this? If you could have any life 5 years from now, what does that look like? And are you willing to work for it? And that conversation will set them up for success to, okay, here's the vessel, like we were talking about earlier, that could get you there. It's really that easy. Let them know when our team calls are, let them know they're recorded. And really, you kind of take it from there and match their pace. Any questions about setting people up and helping them be successful? Yes. Any questions? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Felisa. Go ahead.
I know, I don't know who all was involved, but I think you and Jamie were both big on that with that Coach University. Thank you for putting time into that, because I think it's a great idea, and I like the way it's set up now.
Thank you. Awesome. Yes. We worked pretty hard on it. There's so many different ways to do it, but at the end of the day, it's just that people know the basics and map out their vision and know, and then they can run with it. So thank you. Awesome, you guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful. I apologize. My kids are running around the background and I didn't have a pretty PowerPoint. But at the end of the day, it really is pretty simple. It's just getting clear on these things that we talked about and putting it into action. And it really all stems from our belief and our own personal vision and what we want. And if we take these actions in alignment with that, you will have success. Thank you guys for being on the call. I'm going to go now. I'm going to let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.